Okay, welcome everyone to our second B School call, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. I'm Lisa Natoli, and I am so happy to be here. And let's see, I'm not sure if everybody can just mute themselves. Not quite sure how to do that.
Bottom bar all the way to the left, there's a mute button.
I don't know how to mute everyone though. I know how to mute myself. Oh, here we go. Nope. I'm still learning the technology myself. Okay, very good. So just so that we get a really great recording, because I really do want to hear from everybody. So let's just, while we're here, first of all, just everyone, we're just going to open up in prayer and just closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in, centering, feet on the floor if you're sitting in a chair. Just really feeling yourself in this present moment, bringing your attention back away from all the distractions in the world and life. And we are really just acknowledging a whole new space for us as we bring forth our gifts and our abilities and we begin to share them with the world. And I give thanks for each and every one of you here on the call, those of you who will be listening, and to those who really will be receiving that which you are now giving. And we're really just opening ourselves up to extend the light that we are. And we're here to serve. We're here to give. We're here to inspire. We're here to encourage. We are here to support others in whatever way that looks like, for whatever products and services that we offer. And we just give thanks now that we're stepping forth boldly into a new space where we're really allowing ourselves to listen to this inner voice, this creative child that has been wanting to play all these years, but we really just kept small, and now the child's coming out to play. So I give thanks that we are here together and we are guided in everything that we do, and we are listening, each of us, we're listening to guidance as it takes us forward into these new spaces that we're going. Amen. Amen. So I'm just going to open up with a few comments, and then I really want us to just share and just jump right in to whatever questions you have, whatever comments you want to offer. My goal on these calls is just to keep us moving forward. That's my goal. Like, my goal is to keep us on track. As I've said, there is no rushing in B School. So I've moved ahead to Module 2. I'm going to talk briefly about Module 2, which is websites. If you have not moved into Module 2, no problem. You have B School for life. And the really important thing is clarity. So the first module really is the most important as you go forth in creating a business. And so wherever you're at, just be okay with that. Just, there's no rushing. And what I did, I just want to just, I posted this, I think, in an email I sent out today. And I just want to talk about a couple things from Module 2, and something that's been helpful to me, and it might not be helpful to anyone else here, but I print out the transcripts and I read them because I'm a very fast reader and I don't care about being entertained in B School. Like, I love Marie Forleo. I think she is hilarious. I think she is so funny. I watch almost every episode of Marie TV every Tuesday. And in those, I watch the video because it's just, she's so uplifting. She's so inspiring. I just love watching her. So for that, I'm always watching the videos. But I know for myself, having done B School before, is that I see all that content there. I mean, it's like 5 or more videos a week. And what's happening now, in addition to having videos to watch and fun sheets to fill out, you're creating products and websites. And so you've got this additional work of like bringing forth your technology and your products. So finding time to really connect with the content. So I printed out, I did all of module 2. I read the whole thing. There's 5 of them. And I read it in like, I don't know, under an hour, really. And what I love about module 2, and what I really want us to talk about this in a few moments, is like, who has a website? Where are you in the process? Is that she's really breaking it down simple. Who's into module 2? Raise your hands. Oh, good. Oh, everybody. Everybody? Oh, awesome. Almost. Okay. So what I loved here is she jumps right into it, is that our number one goal among many goals, but to keep in mind, generating sales. So that kind of was like, okay, good. She's keeping it right there, because this isn't a hobby. Like, we're not just blogging, and we're not just bringing forth our gifts to help people. We're creating a business. And so then the second part that's important is that you're growing your mailing list. And what she talks about here is having the most simple way to capture people. So if you don't have a website, you only need 2 pages in order to start generating people's emails in their names. And what's amazing to me, I've been in B School since 2014, and I actually don't have an opt-in yet. I was kind of today going, how funny. Like, my entire focus has been at the Teachers of God Foundation. So I've used B School to create that organization, and we have free offerings there. But I realized today, wow, I actually don't have a very big mailing list. I have about 6,000 people on my personal mailing list. And, I've been growing that for years. And that's not really a lot of numbers. And the reason I even wanted to mention that is because it doesn't matter. Like, I've made a really great income over the years with just the people I have, because I've really built a loyal following of people who really love what I do. And that's really what B School is all about, is that you're really getting clarity about what you're offering, and then you're engaging with your mailing list. So I wanted to just bring up those 2 things, and I think what I'll do is I will just open it up for now, just to see where everybody's at. And I wanted to just talk about also, before we get off the call, about productivity, like how you're scheduling your time. If anybody has any tips of how you're moving forward, I'm going to tell you a couple things that Marie Forleo has said in some of her B School episodes, which have helped me to just get a few things done, because I know what happens. There's so many distractions in the world right now, and how do you really stay focused? So if anybody would like to just raise their hand and unmute themselves, if you'd like to share any questions or where you're at, any comments. Hey, Kathy.
Hi. So I've been working at a little bit of it every day, for sure. And my distraction, aside from life, is that I jump back and forth from my brick and mortar business to my potentially new online business. Can you hear me?
Yep.
So I'm trying to stay focused, but what became very clear for me this week as I was doing the worksheets was that I have to get my brick and mortar business to a certain place to free up time to work on my online business. So that was good. And as a result, I hired a new person today. And I'm excited to look at her module 2, because I have a website, but I have no idea how many people we have on the mailing list. And I've never really focused on the online part of the business, which is why I'm excited about this, about B School. Because we have a website, we have Facebook pages, and I have someone that does my newsletters and offerings and things like that. but I have no idea how many people are in it, who's in it, and if we even maintain people with what we offer out there. So that's my next step. I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. So this is for your business, for Thrive?
Yeah, for Thrive.
Yeah.
So
did you find out how many are on your mailing list?
No, I haven't yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I just started. See, when I was doing the ideal customer avatar, I got into what she called the multiple avatar syndrome. Like, I was thinking of all the different people that would come into my studio, and then I was thinking of what I want to do with my online business, and I was getting myself all confused, and it made me stuck for a few days, actually. So I rewatched the video and I redid the sheets, and I just kind of focused on the brick and mortar business for now, because that's where I need to kind of focus on to get myself going. But it's interesting, as I focus on that, it became more clear to me what I want my online business to be. So it works.
Awesome. And that's really my experience, is that when you really take one step, it sort of like opens up other things. Like, to me, that's what this whole creativity business is all about, is that we're really just allowing ourselves to just take a next step, take a next step, take a next step. And what I found too is it's going to help just your business when you do decide to launch it. Like, you're already creating a following. That's awesome. Let's see here. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, here we go. Okay. Who would like to go next? Yes, Jill.
I have a CPR class in 15 minutes, and I just wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
I don't know what an opt-in is.
What is?
What mean by an opt-in on your webpage?
I still can't hear what.
The opt-in. The opt-in.
In.
Oh, an opt-in. Okay, opt-in. So an opt-in is a way to capture somebody's email and their name, so that you have some sort of an offering or some sort of a special or something that's really quick and easy that's going to grab their attention to get them on your mailing list. So it really is just, and that's described in module 2 of, she gives a bunch of different examples. So your business is the cat business, correct?
Yes.
So are you going forward to create a cat cafe, or what is your business?
That was what I had the most clarity on. And then so I was thinking maybe of developing a following with a blog to get community support. But as far as bringing in for an email, maybe just bring mail clippings.
That's great. That's a good idea. I mean, anything that people are really going to, it could be an article that they have to sign up to get access to. It could be a video, an audio, something step by step, an offer like that. So like, just any way that you're going to get them on your mailing list. I do want to just bring up one thing that you may or may not be aware of, all of you, is, I think it was last year, they had this thing called the European Union, where you can't no longer put people from Europe on your mailing list with a free offer unless they opt in to get on the mailing list, because usually it's two separate things. Normally, the way it used to be is when you opted in for a free gift, you would automatically get on someone's mailing list and you can start receiving their emails. And you can still do that in the US and Canada, but not for European people. So the way most people handle it is you just put under your opt-in page that you will also receive emails from people, from you, and that you can just unsubscribe at any time. So there has to be some wording there around that. So one thing to keep in mind. But yeah, that's what an opt-in is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Welcome everyone here. Deborah, Carly. Let's see, we have 2 people on the phone here. Who do we have on the phone? I don't have names.
Hello,
Oh, hi there. Who's this?
this is Teresa McGallagher, my number's 2109.
Oh, very good. Would you like to share anything?
I don't have a lot to share. I'm still on module 1.
Mhm.
I did my my ideal customer avatar this morning, and that was really interesting. So now I'm working on the section about branding, and I'm struggling with that a little bit because I realize that I'm completely not brand loyal to any brands at all or anything. So, except for maybe Starbucks coffee.
Well, I've actually wanted to say I've been noticing you, Teresa, this week posting. So I've noticed some new energy coming through you. Like you're putting yourself out there now in a way you haven't seen before. And that's really the first step. Like you start to really just kind of try out a few things, and you are the brand. You're what they're buying. That's always what
Yeah.
it's boiled down to.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that because that was what I got clarity on when I did the sweet spot exercise, is that the things that I don't consider gifts that I consider very natural for me are things that other people are looking for. So that was very helpful for me to see what direction to go in.
And remind me again, what's the business?
Well, I'm writing a book, and it's about half done, but I'm starting to see that maybe that's a side thing and not the main thing, because where I found my talent lies is in encouraging people. There are people that call me every week just to hear the sound of my voice, and because I cheers them up, they tell me, I don't know, just to chat. And so I see that as parlaying maybe into some sort of coaching project. And coincidentally, just today, I was offered a paid coaching position with another group that I've been volunteering with. So that'll be a good experience for me.
That's great. And just what you said is a clue. So people want to call you just to hear your voice. So I want
That's what they say.
But seriously, so basically what that tells me is that your work and your website should have your voice somewhere, not just for private coaching. But I get chills just listening to you myself. Like right now, seriously, I got chills through my body. So it's like this is for everyone really. Like people want connection. They really do. They want to feel that they're with you. And the internet gives us that ability now where you actually don't have to be on a call with someone one-on-one. Like they can create a video, or you could create an audio if they just want your voice. And and I remember last week you were saying you want to end suffering, so it's like your book. One of the things with books nowadays is it's actually your business card. Books don't really make money unless it's very rare to make money with a book. But your book is your calling card. It's the thing where it makes you an expert in the field. That's what a book is really valuable for. And so the business will be the content of the book and any services that go around it, like how you can reach a wider audience with that content. And then when the book is done, that's like bonus points. That's just something that'll be an additional thing for people to buy. But to really just think about, okay, because you're already doing it, and that's what I love to see. I love to see people starting to take steps now to post stuff. And the step in module 2 is how to move them off social media and get them onto your mailing list. That's really the challenge in module 2.
Yeah, and that's what I got some clarity about in module 1, is that I was thinking that the book was the main thing, and I suddenly saw that no, the book is not the main thing. It's like a side thing. The main thing is the connection with people, but I had not even thought about doing audios or videos on my website, like talking to people, until you said that. I don't know why.
Yep. It's funny because
That's a great idea.
this work, that's really what these calls are for anyways too, because I thought to myself, I don't want to do videos. I really get very self-conscious and nervous, and I just don't like them. However, I know that that's where I feel the most people say, I love seeing you, I love hearing your voice, I love watching you smile in your lap and the cat in the background, and it's just, they feel like I'm connected with them. And so I think a lot of this work is moving through our fear points. Like for me, this work is all about coming to your true voice and your authenticity, where I'm just more feeling like, okay, can I put a camera on me? Well, I guess, like, I don't really want to, but, and then you kind of like play with the idea a little bit, and I like the client work in module 1 to just think of one person. You are always talking only to one person, because as soon as I start thinking I got to reach 100 people or 1,000 people or whatever, I just go into a panic. But if I think,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to reach Teresa right now, I'm going to write this email just to her, it just has a different tone to it. So that's really like where you might this week decide to just put a little audio. That could be your free offering. You could put a free coaching session in an audio, and just have people sign up to get it.
Yeah, I don't even begin to know how to start to do that, so I have a learning curve, but yeah, it's good to have direction.
Well, we can all help each other in this group. Like, I know a bunch of cool resources, so we can put this stuff like this into the Facebook group, and I'll put my resources in there. I make transcripts of everything, and I know a few good audio programs that you can use. And Marie's had a lot of them in B School under her resources section.
Okay.
Awesome. Yay. Keep going.
Sounds good. No,
Well,
that's all. I don't want to take up any more time, so other people can chime in. I'd like to hear what everybody else is up to.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
Who'd like to go next? Hey, Deborah.
Oh.
There you are.
Yep, here I am. I just had to unmute myself. So I am still in module 1 as well. I was halfway through and thought I need to go back and do the right business and make sure that I was really on the right track. So I did that. And so I did the avatar thing today, and now I'm working on the branding position. And it's all great, and I'm really excited that the next module is about the website, because I don't have a website yet, and I just hired a designer to put it together for me, because I do not want to have to learn that technical stuff. And so I'm really happy that I'm going to be able to see, what Marie's suggestions and learn about the website before I actually build it and put it together. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, I'm just, I'm doing my promotion for my summit that's coming up, and that's constantly putting me into a position where I'm afraid, and I'm having to expose, and I'm having to show up. And today I did a live Instagram post on one of my speakers' platforms. And I was talking to my daughter last night, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to do this. What do I do? And she's trying to show me, well, you just, click on here and do this and do that. And I'm like, okay. But I was so nervous this morning. And then I just kept going, nope. I was nervous before I did the interviews, and I did those just fine. And now I'm going to do this just fine. So I'll keep learning and I'll keep growing. So it's just really amazing that, we just keep expanding and expanding and expanding and exposing and expanding. And so that's where I am.
That's awesome, Deborah. Yeah, the website is so important because and it's so important to start putting ourselves out there on the video and really just saying, okay, I'm going to offer what I'm offering. And what she talks about in module 2, which I really liked, you have only 2 choices on websites: either do it yourself or hire somebody. But no matter what you do, you always have to know how to fix things yourself. That's the main thing, because you want to have creative control when you really can see something's not working, something's not converting, something's not selling. And you don't want to have to wait for someone else to do it. And so she gives some really great examples in there to how to get something up now where you actually don't have to build a whole website straight away. You can just build 2 pages, your opt-in page and a thank you page. And then, of course, you have to build it into an email list. And she said if you don't have a website, you can create a coming soon page, which is your opt-in page. So if you would like information about, and then your topic. But that's really where, so on an Instagram video, you will always have a link to go back to your website so that you capture their email.
Right. Yeah. And I'm doing that right now, I guess. I have that 2 pages because I have it with the True Self Summit, and they can opt in, and I'm collecting emails that way. So I guess I've started it already. So I guess I do have a website.
Yeah, you do.
Go figure.
Is that what is that on? Is that a website, or is it like
yeah, it's just a page, trueselfsummit.com. But if you go to that, then you can opt into the summit, and that way I collect an email.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's so good. So Deborah's doing a summit that starts on March 20th called Stop Dieting, Start Living. I'm one of the speakers for that. And we had the best interview. It was so much fun, and I am so looking forward to being there. I know our interview's on March 26th. And when you did your Start Your Right business, do you feel like that's the business you want to do still, helping people with body image and dieting?
Yes. It's always been the same. I want to start with helping people with their self-image. And then my long-term goal is to have a healing center. And every time I go through any of these types of exercises, it always ends up the same. The end result is always the same thing. I might go a different route to get there, but the healing center is really the end goal, and it's always been that.
Several of us on this call, I'm sure, will partner with you on that one. That's awesome.
Great.
Thank you, Deborah. Anybody else like to share? How is it going? What module you're on? Any questions, comments? Yes.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Hello. Am I on? Oh, it's Valentine.
I can't go back. You told me last week to call you Valentine, and I'd already trained myself to call you by your birthday, Valentine.
Yeah, no, I was getting distracted. But anyway, yeah, so I've been doing a lot this week. I'm actually tired because I've been going full steam on things. I decided on a name for my business, which I had posted, and it's called Sinners and Saints Unite. And that was an idea for my website, and I was going to put also changing the way we think about God on the website. But I really love the name because I do feel like it it encompasses what I want to do and the topics that I want and the clients that I want to reach, like thinking about the ideal client avatar. I think that name perfectly captures like who I'm trying to market to and the types of ideas I want to get across.
And
So
what's the business? What's the business again?
So I want to do like I guess like coaching, like some type, like a spiritual development where I do coaching and like online courses. And I'd also like to do, I think a lot of writing and some video, like a video blog. I have a lot of topics that I'd like to talk about and write about. So, so that'll be part of it. I do want to create like a series, like maybe like a regular article, regular video series. I thought it would be fun. One idea is having like a Dear Abby type column. So like thinking about, you know, a relationship with God. And when you think about relationships, you also have relationship problems. And a lot of people do have, you know, issues with God. Like people, right? All of us, I think, at some point have been mad at God or been confused about why things happen the way they are. So I thought it would be fun to talk about it from that
Who would you say is your ideal client?
I would say I don't know so the ideal client is someone who doesn't necessarily feel that they are like worthy of God sometimes, like someone who's feeling lost, looking for purpose and meaning in their life. And who's looking to better themselves. And I'm looking to get at like a younger age group because I find that like the older we get, we start to reflect more on things. And so when I go to a church, I don't see people who are like in their 20s or 30s, or people with families, like, and so I think like there's a lot of people out there who are, you know, spiritual and not religious. I think that is tending to be the trend now. And so I wanted to reach that age group.
Mm-hmm.
And like people who do have like some interest in like spiritual development and, you know, creating a practice, but that don't necessarily feel like they have a place to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they don't necessarily connect when they go to church.
Yeah.
But they may do things at home, like, for example, like yoga. Yoga is a spiritual practice. So many people do it. And so, you know, like people who may be doing that, but think, oh, I'm not really a spiritual person, but they are, you know, or people who feel like they're spiritual and want a community, but don't have a community. So creating a community in that way. And so also
curious about your website, like once you launch it, because you may attract some religious ones with that name. I'm not sure. That's why I was wondering what your client is, because it's Saints and Sinners is a very religious. So I wasn't sure if that was what your market is.
I actually put the name Sinners first, Sinners and Saints Unite.
Yeah.
Figured that, you know, putting in that perspective, it may reach people who are like, well, I'm not perfect, you know, I don't have this whole God thing down, or, you know, so yeah, so reaching, you know, someone who thinks like they may not fit in completely.
Right.
They do have some inkling that they do want something more.
That's great. So you're in module 2 now?
Yeah, I just finished module 2. I still want to do the video on WordPress. Yeah, so I just got through module 2, and so I did create I did get like a domain name, or I guess, or website. Nothing's up there, and I was very excited to hear that I don't need to like put up a whole website yet. I can still have like a page because I'm in the process of starting a business. So you know, so I have so much to learn about like what to do for a website and how to do it, but I'm really excited about the whole process. I don't think I've ever been this excited to do anything work-wise, or, you know, launch any type of idea. And
like I'm just excited about like all the learning that I'm going to be doing, and
Mhm.
that I'm going to have the freedom to do things that I want to do and put across ideas that I want to put across without having like a ton of limitations to it.
That's so good. I'd like for us to give ourselves a challenge for next week, for those of you who are ready, to come up with your free offering, whatever it is, if it's an audio, a PDF, something, and see how far you get with getting, like, how far you can get with getting people to sign up. So for some of us, that's going to be a real challenge because you might not have a mailing list, you might not have a website, you might not. Is there anybody here who does not have a website at all? Okay. I'm not sure if I see everybody here. And I see 2 people on the phone. I don't know who else is on the phone. I know, Teresa, you're one of them. And who doesn't have a mailing list? Okay, several of us don't have a mailing list. Okay, very good. So this will challenge us this week to really see, okay, how do we get it done? How does it work? I can tell you for myself, and I love what Marie says, everything is figure it outable. So I'm, I have a new book coming out pretty soon on changing your attitude towards food and business. It's a whole other, business over there. And my co-author, my partner, I've given her the task of creating a coaching website for herself, and she's freaking out. Like, she's like, oh. And I said, no, just take it easy, just kind of be calm. And because it can seem very overwhelming when you're getting started. And what Marie's suggesting is just look into a couple of different platforms. I use Aweber, which I like a lot. ConvertKit is another one. Entreport is there's the Infusionsoft I used to use, very expensive. I liked it though, but if anybody has a great mailing list that they like to use, I'd love to hear about it. But I think that would be a good challenge for people this week, is to really just to start to build a mailing list. Like, how can you get people onto your list? Who'd like to go next? Or any fears about that one coming up? Huh.
I'll go next.
Okay, good. Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, how are you?
Really good.
Excellent. So basically I am working from about 9 to 5, and then I have dinner, and then it's B-school time. I did get a domain name last night, and I am running a contest on Instagram, and part of the sign up for that is collecting emails. So I think I have about 24 emails so far.
Great. And
yeah, I'm giving away.
What's your website name?
It's going to be moonstoneriverjewelry.com.
Nice. I love your stuff.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait for my necklace to show up.
Oh, it should be there really soon.
So
I've already started collecting emails, and I'm using MailChimp.
And what's your, did you have a free offering, or did you just put up a mailing list?
Yeah, so it's a giveaway. One person's going to win a custom ring.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
And then for my actual opt-in offer, I'm not really sure yet, but I'll have that figured out by next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, I liked how you tied in the inspirational stuff. Like, I think that's what people really want nowadays. They want to feel connected. Yeah. And I know for myself, I buy jewelry when it's got a message on it. It's I don't know where the card went, but I just bought this little thing. Let me see if I can find. This is so great. I bought a couple of different things this week, but it's this.
Ooh.
It was made in Indonesia. It's called Lotus Goddess something.
Beautiful.
But you want to know why I paid for it? So that I could get the card. I'm not kidding. Let's see. It says, this little card made me buy the whole thing.
Amazing.
It's just the Lotus Yoga Goddess represents the woman in her full power, filled with love, strength, sensuality, serenity, wisdom, and mercy. A woman able to heal herself as well as others.
Amazing.
I don't know how anybody else does it, but that's where I put my money when something.
Yeah, and as I said, like I am creating a customer care card as well. I should give myself a deadline on that one. I'd like to get that out by next week as well.
Because that would make a great free offering.
Mm-hmm.
Like some sort of a prayer or some sort of a something that, to me, your work is about being connected to the, like, grounded. I don't know. I feel like because there's stones,
Yeah.
there's something about being centered and connected and grounded. It's about beauty. Like it's the earth, you know, like being present. I mean, there's just so many elements that I felt when I went to your website. So the Etsy store is not the website, though, correct?
It will not be, no. Right now I'm using it as my website, but I'm going to be transitioning, and I'm not exactly sure how that's going to happen, but I'm going to make it happen soon.
That's so great. Isn't it awesome, though? We're all taking steps.
Yes, and it feels great, and we're all really supported as well. And it's so exciting.
I am too. I loved hearing your progress on Facebook, because I loved what you said, and that's what inspired me to post my post, is that you got it, that you didn't feel worthy.
Right.
Like, I went to your website and I was like, whoa, this is nice stuff. And it was like $23. I thought, oh, she could be charging triple this. That's what I thought. I thought, you know, just to up the prices. And then I mentioned that to you, and then you did it.
Yeah, I thought about it and I thought, okay, this makes sense. And then I was looking at module 1 and it was just like, position yourself. And I thought about it and I thought, you know what? I need to raise my prices and I need to stop having sales out of desperation for sales.
Yeah, and then you said that you hit your sales numbers for the week on Monday.
Right. Yeah. So I took my sales down. I stopped offering all the things I was offering out of desperation. And as soon as I did that and raised my prices, and I started getting sales.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's really what this is about. Like we're coming into confidence. We're coming into just certainty that what we're giving has value, because you have value. Like you really are. Each of us can really just step in to our full power and say, okay. Like, that's why I love the support of the group, because on our own we're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you got all of us going, raise your prices, do it, put something out there, have fun with it. You know, it's like, okay. That's so good. And I want everyone, when you have a website, to please put it in the Facebook page so we can all check out what everybody's doing here in the group. Good job. Who'd like to go next?
I can go.
Oh, good.
Hi.
Nice to see you, Christina.
Good to see you too, and everyone. So for me, this, like, I guess I've had the epiphany that I was before. I'd always wanted to run an online business, and I never even wanted to do one-on-one coaching, but then I just kind of, it happened. And so I've been doing it for a few years, and I had tried some, like, putting freemiums and stuff online, like opt-in offers. And then I even like wrote an ebook, and I had like some products, but they just didn't fully resonate, and it wasn't like fully inspired. I was doing it because I thought I had to, and I wasn't fully aligned with it. So because I've tried it and it didn't work, I kind of was like, okay, well, maybe I should just put that on the back burner. Like, it's not going to work. Let me just focus on, then, if I want to have a more thriving business, raising like my clientele. Like, I could have more high-end packages. I live in Southern California. That shouldn't be hard to do. So that was kind of my focus going in. But now I'm realizing, like, I need to go back to my original plan, because this is being a one-on-one coach is not really what I'm meant to do. Like, I'm loving it right now. My clients are phenomenal. It's amazing. And I still want to keep that as an aspect of my business. But looking at all of this, I realized I needed to step back a little bit and say, like, okay, what are the different tiers, like they come in for this, there's like a lower priced item working up to something big, or like working with me one-on-one, which I've heard recommended so many different times, but I can never figure out what the product is and like how it all aligns together. And I'm still not 100% sure, but it feels good to be revisiting that again. And I'm just going to kind of take the pressure off from knowing what it has to be, because when I think of what I would really want it to be, it would take a lot of time and energy and effort, and more than I feel like I have to give right now. So I'm excited to just play with it and kind of come up with something that I feel like I can do, because that's part of it too, is when I get these grand ideas that are really exciting, but then I'm like, how am I going to do this? I get overwhelmed. So this is one of the things that you were first talking about, was how are you budgeting your time, and how are you not feeling overwhelmed by all of this? And that's kind of been interesting for me to be able to be in my power, in my strength, and identify with the truth of who I am, that I am capable, that all the resources are available, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like that the walking the line of being in that place of holding your power and knowing that you can do anything, while also not overextending or trying to do so much that then nothing gets done. So my challenge, I think, throughout B School, it looks like the theme for me is going to be what can I implement in a really doable way, so I have actual results. So I completed module 1. I did the Start Your Right business, and then I watched all the videos for module 2. I just need to do the fun sheets for the 3rd and 4th module. So I have, the 3rd activity should help me find or I clarify some of the ideas of my freemium. But I'm looking at my business now as what's 2.0 and then 3.0. And if I have my 3.0 version is what I really want to be doing, but right now, can I just do a 2.0? What's the next step to get there, as opposed to just creating it all right now? I guess that's what I'm going through.
That's great. Well, I think it's important we all remember we're just getting started. It's really important, and the clarity takes time. You can't push that. And I did want to mention about the productivity stuff I found out from Marie Folio that I use, that I love, and I'll find the videos that I like from her on Marie TV, and I'll post them in the B School group. But she's done a bunch of different ones on productivity and things that successful people do and things she swears by. And one of them is she works out every day. Your self-care is non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. And that's one that always takes the wayside in my life, meditation, yoga, working out and sweating. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. So really recognizing this is your life, and you're not here to kill yourself helping other people. The second thing that I really like that she does is to take 4 minutes before you go to bed to plan your calendar for the next day. So what she has is she'll have her meetings. So maybe she'll have a 10 o'clock a.m. staff meeting for 30 minutes, and she'll have, I don't know, it was a 6:30 p.m. spin class and one other meeting in there somewhere. And then what she'll do before she goes to bed is she puts projects and tasks in there. So maybe 30 minutes of emailing. You might put 30 minutes of B School in there. And then personal stuff, buy a birthday card for so-and-so. Not get pulled in by all the distractions of other people, and not doing a lot. And the other one that I really like that she said is have your, what did she call them? She called them, I don't know how she said it, but have your accomplishments be, I don't know how she said it. It's like know what you want to accomplish so that when you accomplish it, you know you've accomplished it. Like one little thing. Like you'll say, I'm gonna find an email company, or I'm going to, like one little thing, so that when it's done, you can say, oh, I wrapped that one up.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any productivity things you'd like to share? Oh, hi, Monique.
Hi. Actually, this is kind of a nutty thing, but I wanted to share around something that's held me back for years with the Course in Miracles was lesson 135, a healed mind does not plan, on that second page. And, it listens, and then it knows that it's adequate to do what's for the good of everyone, is kind of that through line. And so, every morning I sit down, I listen for Holy Spirit for the guidance and listen for that. And so for a long time, I kind of hesitated on taking charge. Like, the idea of like, okay, 4 minutes the night before. So I'm wondering if you could kind of marry these two or say it in a way that I can hear it even more deeply.
Well, that's just what works for me, because I'm of that camp of let's see how it goes. Like let the Holy Spirit lead me. And what I have found, I'm more productive when I know exactly what needs to get done. And then I'm like, oh, that's got done. It's like, I'm just checking. So the way Jesus says, since we're all in A Course in Miracles here, is ask me about the minutia so I can take care of it. So that to me is what the calendar is about in my mind. I'm not planning, and I'm staying open for change. And the other thing I like about Marie's videos, she's like me, multitasker, multi-passionate. I got my hand on everything. I'm all over the map. I don't just have one product. I have a whole bunch of things that I want to do them all. And I love that she says you can do them all, but I want more time for myself. So this makes it very clear, like, okay, this is what I'm getting done now. This is what I'm getting. So at the end of the day, I can really feel like, oh, I got all that done. I was moving forward. But I have the same thing, Monique. Like I'm really like, okay, Lord, here I am. What would you have me do? And some days I do that. Like the scheduling my day doesn't happen every day, but it's when I do it, it's amazing. So that's me.
And you still feel it's aligned to what the divine would employ you for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I had a fear of like, not listening correctly or doing something that wasn't quite right on.
Yeah. Well, to me, like, I just use a paper calendar. That's me. And it's near me at all times. I even had it engraved. And it's just like, I'm able to just go, okay. And then like last week I went to Mexico for the healing retreat. My calendar, when it says to Mexico, there's nothing else going on that week. I went to Mexico. There's nothing else. I took myself right off the map. And when on the day I go to Mexico, nothing going on. Friday, Saturday, 7 p.m. healing retreat begins. And then I just put down things in here. Okay, I got a 2 p.m. Jennifer Hadley Facebook Live. And this way, I'm able to really just at a glance go, these are my commitments. And then you just kind of put little things in here to move forward. Like I take weekends off. I don't really work on the weekends. Jennifer Hadley retreat. I'm going to Jennifer Hadley's retreat next week on Wednesday. So, that reminds me, I have to reschedule. I said this in the email. I think if we can have the call next week on Tuesday night, if everyone's okay with that, at 7:00. And I'll keep the Thursday one at 1:00. And I told Jennifer I have to just leave for an hour. But this is my freedom, because to me it's not planning in the sense like it allows me to have a life, which is what I want. Like I don't want to keep getting distracted by emails that come in and putting out fires all day long, which is what I did for years.
How'd you get around that?
What?
How'd you get around that?
Well, I recognize that this has got to stop somewhere, and the emails don't stop. You know, the work doesn't. It gets bigger. Your work's not going to get less from here for any of us. But that's where you have to make your self-care a priority. You have to really say, okay, I'm not a slave here. I'm in service, and I'm running a business for freedom, right? So you're creating a business and a life that you love, and finding ways that you can really just move forward without being owned by it.
But how did you manage all those emails coming in? That is daunting.
Well, we have staff now. I don't have staff for Lisa Natoli, but yeah, you start hiring people. You start really going, how can I, do the things I'm good at and give the things that I don't want to do to other people who are good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What module are you in?
I'm just starting the second, but I'm going all over the place on the page, just trying to understand, well, what is this business thing? Like how is she teaching us, and I'm just getting more of a sense of envisioning myself doing this.
That's so good. Yeah, it's been interesting for me to be in B-School since 2014 and to still see myself. You're always expanding, I'm like, wow, I don't have a free offering on my personal website yet. So I feel like I'm a beginner myself here in B-School.
Mm-hmm.
So the hour has zipped right by. Would anybody else like to share anything before we close? Carly, how's it going? Hi, Carly.
Here I am in the car again. And I can report that I finished Module 1, all of the watching, and had a speech that I gave last night. So that was exciting. One question I do have, can you share parts of your book if you don't want to self-publish, if you'd like to be represented by an agent? Would they prefer that you don't share any part of it, or?
No, they want you to share part of it. Like that's one of the ways you get people to sign up. Publishers, even if you have a real publisher, they want you to do the publicity.
Okay. So you can still, yeah. So that might be a part of the fun that I do, is release some audio segments on a website of the book, because it's about running. So I think that my tribe are going to want the audio anyway. And I'm just here to say that with all the doubt I had that the right name for my company wouldn't come, I think it did. So that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a web page, but it has been down. So I completely agree with what you said, that even you want to know how to fix it. You want the creative control. And so I'm thinking about doing another one that I have the control over. So I'm excited for the next module.
That's great. And there's so many, like Christina, I was just thinking about you also with what you were just saying, Carly, about the book and can you publish it? And like when you start to get clarity, like we're in a market where you can reach a lot of people now. I used to do one-on-one coaching, and the most I could handle was 15 people at a time, and I didn't have a life. Because of the time zones in Europe, I literally booked when they needed me. And that's when I decided to move out of one-on-one coaching, and now I just do group online programs, which is amazing. I use Kajabi. And if anybody wants the healing cure before the B-School ends so you can see what I've done, just email me and I'll give it to you whenever you're ready to have it. But, you know, that's where you're getting clarity. Like, really, what do you want to offer so that you're really serving a lot of people and you're not a slave to the work. So
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank
yeah.
you, thank you.
Well, I'd like to close in prayer now, just to close us out. I am so grateful that you're all here. And just taking a deep breath in. And we give thanks that we are inspired, that we are being bold in bringing forth our gifts, and we're allowing ourselves to be little children as we play in the playground and we test out these ideas, that we're not afraid to make mistakes, that we're really just here just to allow something new to emerge. And we can rest in this. And we remember that we're not here to make more work for ourselves. We're here for clarity, because clarity equals power. And we are allowing the Holy Spirit to flow through us. We're allowing ourselves now to step into our full function of bringing light and joy and peace to the world, and that we stay present. That's really the most important thing, that we're in a state of peace and relaxation, because this voice, this light wants to come through. It's been wanting to come through since time began, and now we're not blocking it. Now we're allowing it to shine. And for this, we say amen.
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 And hallelujah.
And hallelujah, exactly.
Beautiful.
So if you ever have questions, comments, anything at all, please post them in the Facebook group. And I'll be on tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Thursday, and next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.